Stress fractures are essentially what we call insufficiency fractures. They're a hairline crack in the bone. It's where they don't typically show up on x-ray. This one is about 2 to 3 months into it, so you see this kind of callus formation or extra bone formation. This one's very, very obvious, but most of the ones we see don't show up, and so they can be misdiagnosed very frequently. So they're an overuse injury, basically too much too soon is what we see with stress fractures. Very common in the lower extremity. They're very common in military, actually, obviously for the long hikes and the long runs that they do. There's approximately 10% of all fractures occur in the foot, which I thought was an interesting stat. It seemed pretty high to me, but again, the ankle consists of the tibia, the fibula, and the talus bone. So the tibia is that big bone, the fibula is the bone on the outside of the foot, and the talus bone is the bone that sits up into the ankle joint. So metatarsal bones, we've already seen a couple of those with the stress fractures, but they're the long bones in the foot. The two most common ways to describe them is normal bone with abnormal activity and abnormal bone with normal activity. What I mean by that is your bone can be normal, you may not have any disease process, but you're doing too much. So that's your abnormal activity. Abnormal bone is where you have osteoporosis or a tumor or something like that that makes the normal activity just by normal walking can cause that stress fracture to occur.